All right, kiddos. So today we're going to be multiplying and dividing by twos. So get out your whiteboard and your dry erase marker, and we will start by circling, just like we did with the fives. We're going to start circling groups of two. So we're going to start down here at 1 and go all the way up to 20. So your first group will look like this. You're just going to circle the first group of 2. Here's the second group of 2. So I want you to pause the video and you and your partner finish circling each group of 2 all the way up to 20 and then come on back. All right, welcome back. So hopefully your board looks like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to label each group by twos. So the first group right here is going to be labeled 2. Our second group is going to be labeled 4. So, I'm sure you guessed it, I want you to pause the video and continue writing your twos all the way up to 20, label each group, and you and your partner check with each other, and then come on back and we will continue. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully your whiteboard looks something like this with twos written all the way up to 20. And now we are going to look and see what we have so far. So what we have is, down here, we have one group of 2, which is 2. Great. So now let's start putting our words into equations. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a multiplication equation for every group of 2. So, before we write that, let's count all of our totals and see if we can find any patterns. Okay, so ready? Count out loud with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Okay, 20. Oh, 20, there's 20. Miss Vervynck, silly. Okay, so now let's start writing our equations. So if we're going to start down here with our first group, we're going to write 2 equals 1 times 2. We're going to circle the 2. So 2 is our counting number, and we only have one group of 2, and the 2 represents the group size. So let's do the next one, the next group down here. So 4 equals 2 groups of 2. Okay, so I want you guys to continue writing all of your multiplication equations down the line, just like here, like we did with our fives. And so pause the video, finish writing your equations, and then come on back. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully your board looks something like this. We pretty much have been counting by twos. If you see any patterns, hopefully you do. We'll talk about them in class. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to write our repeated addition problems to represent each equation. So, just like we did with our fives, I'm sure you guys remember, we are going to write them right next to each equation. Okay, so for our first equation, 2 equals 1 times 2. So we have one group of 2. So we're just going to write a 2 next to it. So for the next equation, 4 equals 2 times 2. Okay, so we have how many groups of 2? 2. So we're going to write 2 plus 2 because we're adding these 2 groups together. Remember down here, these 2 groups together to get 4, which is our answer up here, our product. So for the third equation, 6 equals 3 times 2. How many times are we going to add 2 together? 3 times, because that's what the multiplication equation tells us to do. So we're going to write 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, guys, so I want you to pause the video, finish writing your addition equations next to your multiplication equations, and then come on back and we will keep on going. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully your whiteboard looks something like this. I know I have different colors, but that's just to help you guys kind of see what we're working with and what it should look like. So now let's look for some patterns. And with these two different types of equations, we have addition equations and multiplication equations. Let's look at see if we have any patterns. So remember, when you multiply two numbers together, like so, this equation, these two numbers that you're multiplying together are the factors, and your answer is the product. Okay, so don't forget that. So a couple patterns we can see are that here's our products, and all of our products are even numbers. I know, that's super cool. So if we continue to look for some more patterns, we can see that the ones digit, because once we get down here, these are 2-digit numbers. So our ones digit of each of these numbers, it goes in kind of like a pattern. See, okay, sorry guys, our products. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. And I bet you if we kept writing more and more and more equations, if we kept going further and further with our 2's, that it would follow the same exact pattern, which is awesome. So let's continue on and see what else we can do today. We are going to look at our multiplication table. So I went ahead and highlighted the 2's column because that's just pretty much the only number we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to talk about some fun things with the multiplication table. So when we look at it, we see the first equation, multiplication equation, is 1 times 2 equals 2. And remember I said you could write multiplication equations either way. So in the last slide we had 2 equals 1 times 2. Or you can write it 1 times 2 equals 2. Either way, you still get the same answer. Okay, so if we move on, we have 2 times 2 equals 4. If you see these red numbers, these are our counting numbers. So we can use these numbers to do our 2's count bys. So let's do it. I want you to do it. Say it out loud with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Hopefully you guys used your counting fingers. If you didn't, you better pause, rewind, and use your counting fingers again. Okay, so I have this little problem written over here. 6 times 2 equals what? Let's use our counting fingers and find the answer. So for each time we count by 2's, you're going to hold up one finger. You're going to raise one more finger every time, and we're going to count by 2's until we have 6 fingers up, just like we did with the 5's. So let's start. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, we have 6 fingers up, so we know the answer to 6 times 2 is 12. Counting by 2's makes multiplication super easy, which is awesome. All right, so now I want you guys to go back to your whiteboard, and erase your addition equations that we had written over here. Erase them, but keep your multiplication equations and everything else. Just erase the addition. Okay, so now we are going to do a little division. I know it sounds scary, but it's really fun. So let's go up to our first multiplication equation. Next to it, we're going to write our division equation, just like we did with our addition. So we have 2 equals 1 times 2. Next to it, we're going to write our division equation. So we're going to write 2 divided by 2 equals 1. Let's do the next one. I know you're probably like, what is Miss Vervynck doing right now? Okay, so the next one. 4 divided by 2, remember to circle that 2, equals 2. So maybe now you're starting to see a little pattern. So we are going to divide our product. So right here, this is our product in our multiplication equation. We're going to divide our product by our group size. Well, 2 is our group size, so we're going to divide the product by the group size to find how many groups of 2 we have in each product. So we had one group of 2 in 2, which was our product. So down here, our product over here was 4. So 4 divided by our group size, which is 2, equals 2. If you look down here, look, we have 1, 2 groups of 2, and 4. See, it's not that hard. Okay, so let's do one more. Okay, we have 6 divided by our group size equals 3. If you come down here to our groups we circled, we have how many groups of 2s in 6? 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, so I want you to pause the video. You and your partner finish writing the rest of the division facts all the way down to 20, and then come back and check to see if you got them right. Okay, welcome back. So here's the division facts you should have written next to your multiplication equations, not facts, Miss Vervynck, she's so silly. Your division equations that you should have written next to your multiplication equations. So hopefully you guys got it. Hopefully it wasn't too hard. Now we are going to do a little something different that we haven't done yet in one of these videos. So what I want you to do is you can put your board away for right now, because what I want you to do, you don't need your board. So we're going to come down here, and I've written 2 equations, and I want you and your partner to try to find a way to solve this problem without your boards. And I will be walking around, and we will, if you're watching this video not in class, then come to class and show me what you figured out, and I am just super excited to see what all of you came up with. All right, see ya.